It is the first Sunday of a month ending in T. And you know what that means. That's when we host our live chats. Welcome to yet another one of our infamous rambling live chats on the good old YouTubes, where we take your questions. Yeah, we're joined by a special guest once again, baby girl, the Chihuahua. Jim Pratt is castigating us right off the bat for being late. You're right, we are late. Technical difficulties. Isn't that what they say? I don't know. There have been some good musical performers over the years that show up late to their concerts. We would never do that, though. So, yeah, we've actually got our awning set out here. For those of you who think we never use our awning has been deployed. We may actually sit beneath it for a little while and chat. Big news this week is that last week we were all ready to hit the road and we had a vehicle collision.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody decided to take on Seymour from behind. And if you're driving a small sedan, it's really not advisable. So voila, there's good old Seymour. He's still intact. But we just got our truck back from the body shop just a couple days ago. Yeah.
So, no, but we weren't hurt or anything. Basically, we had to get a new bumper and new hitch assembly and wiring harness and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
we're going to give probably a video that shows in detail what happened because, you know, if nothing else, usually I'm carrying around some cameras, and so right after it happened, I started rolling the cameras. But yeah, we were hit from behind by somebody doing, I don't know, 50 or so miles an hour. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they were going quite that fast, but
see, we were traveling forward too at about 20, 25.
yeah, we were in a construction zone on the interstate, and
hey, Orlando,
weren't just paying attention, and I guess they just rear-ended us. So anyhow, all is well now. Seymour has been repaired. We're okay.
Yeah, it was kind of
And
scary.
it was an interesting situation because I've never been in an accident on the interstate before, and it's handled a little differently than accidents in other places. So we'll cover that in our video coming up about that.
I mean, in the video, you'll see the damage that was done to the truck, but you know, it really did wipe out the hitch assembly in the rear of our truck, and you know, all that, the electronic wiring harness, and just the actual hitch assembly that's bolted to the frame, and our rear bumper, all that stuff was damaged.
We're very happy. Baby girl was not with us when this accident happened.
Yeah.
So she's totally safe. We're very thankful for that.
Because
it was a pretty hard hit, and if I had been holding her, you know, it definitely would have startled her. So
yeah, the other folks, they, you know, their car was still drivable, but the front bumper was about to fall off, and there was a big hole in it.
Yeah, and their hood wouldn't latch anymore. So
new member,
oh,
Dave
thanks
Jenkins.
for joining, Dave.
Thank
Jenkins.
you, Dave. Much
That's
appreciated.
The new, YouTube membership.
Yeah, YouTube has launched. There's a new program where you can become a member of a channel. Yeah, somebody was saying it's a good thing you didn't have whiplash. Yeah, I mean,
we've certainly felt sore and sort of banged up a little bit for a couple of days, but you know, it's been a week, and I think we're okay.
I'll tell you one thing I learned. All of those of you who are driving pickup trucks, and is that we had a hitch in our hitch receiver, you know, like a hitch ball. It wasn't the big one we used to tow the trailer, but it was a small one that I used to tow garbage cans sometimes. But so when the guy hit us from behind, he hit the hitch first, and it really punched a hole in the bumper of his car. Like it jammed right through it. But the point is that took the first impact instead of the rear of our truck taking the first impact.
And somebody was asking, wow, I can't believe your truck is fixed already in a week. Well, the reason why is because...
Wow, thank you, Shoe Dog.
Thank you, Shoe Dog. That's so nice.
Much love to you.
The reason why it was fixed so quickly is because there was no body damage to our truck. It was strictly the hitch assembly and the rear bumper. So they basically ordered a new rear bumper, hitch assembly, and wiring harness. So once they had the parts, they were able to fix it within like 4 or 5 hours. So that is why we are able to get back on the road so soon after that accident because there wasn't major body damage, and that's because we had our hitch in. So.
Now, Ruba makes a good
Flat
point.
Earth Vegans.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Flat Earth Vegans.
Thank you so much. It's so nice. And we also told them we were supposed to be leaving town the weekend after it happened, and of course that didn't happen. And we told them, you know, we've got a work trip and try to get it fixed as soon as possible. And they were very accommodating and super nice. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, we will be doing a video that has all of the footage we shot, you know, with the wreck, and also some shots
tips
from the
and things we learned in the process.
I mean, we got the truck up on a lift. You'll be able to see underneath it and see what happened. They're the tenants,
Hey,
Frankie and Jonathan. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys virtually.
Yeah, Seymour is he's a tough son of a gun. He's still going.
Yeah, somebody says they're glad that we weren't towing our camper. You and me both, because it would have been a much different scenario had they rear-ended our camper. So
Yeah, Seymour did suffer some damage, but he's all right.
He's good
Start
now.
the rebellion.
all right.
Jeffrey England says if y'all get close to Chattanooga, would love to meet up. I don't know if we'll make it to Chattanooga on this trip, but Chattanooga is a great little town. We like Chattanooga very much, and I think it would probably be a beautiful place to camp in the autumn. So we might keep that in mind for an autumn trip. Chattanooga is a fun town. Somebody says this, yeah, this video does look like a mirror image because we're living in Bizarro world here. I'm Steve, this is Edie, and this is Bizarro Long Long Honeymoon. Actually what it is it's the forward-facing camera on our phones.
Yeah, we have to flip the camera so we can read your comments. So everything is reversed. So that's why you're seeing everything funny like that. We are actually still in Birmingham, Alabama. We are getting ready to leave town.
We're loading
hopefully Tuesday. And we'll be making a beeline to the West Coast. So
somebody asked if we're going to go through the Black Hills of South Dakota. I know that Sturgis is going on right now.
And we've been to Sturgis. We have a video all about Sturgis, so
yeah,
you can check that out.
We would love
several
to
years
be there.
old, but it's a great video and has a lot of great footage in it. So
yeah, Sturgis is awesome. If you ever get a chance, go. I mean, whether or not you're into riding bikes, it's just a fun party, fun place to be.
Yeah.
Of course, if you ride bikes, you have to go. Yeah, we're going to go to California.
Yeah,
and
that's first.
Yeah, I mean, we will be on the road in the next day or so, as soon as we can get things loaded up. And I'm really trying not to overpack this time, maybe for the first time in my life. But we're going to be going, should we say it?
Yeah.
to Northern California, to Vinny's North Bay Airstream
So we'll
repair.
sort of be just south of Sacramento.
In the Wilton area, and
that's where Vinny is. So we're heading there first.
and we're going to
We're gonna do a live event from Vinny's. Oh.
hey, Jerguy.
Thank you so much.
Slogan. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the tip. We
I'm
appreciate
sorry
it.
if I mangled the pronunciation of your name. I was, people mispronounce my name all my life. I try to get pronunciations correctly, but sometimes I goof it up. Somebody asked, did the Seymour license plate survive the crash? Yes, it did. That's a good question.
Yeah. Our hitch really saved the day because that took the, brunt of the hit. So. Somebody
asked how my health check is gone. Thank you for asking. My health has been very good, I would say, in recent months. I've had great energy. I've actually been able to work out. See, I've got some guns going on here.
Now.
I got guns. So really, I've got energy. Last year and this time, I was reaching an all-time low probably in my life. If I tried to do any kind of exercise, like if I got on a treadmill, I was done in like 5 minutes, and I mean done for the day, wiped out.
Ooh,
down for the count.
Sexy guns, see? I told him, those guns are big, aren't they? He's got big muscles now.
Well, they're big when I hold them up close to the camera anyway. So yeah, my health's been great. Thank you so much for asking, and I've really felt so much better in recent months. Now I haven't had my MRI yet.
Oh, Brian Eaton, thank you so much
Thank you, Brian.
for the tip. We appreciate that.
Just headed to Maine where it's cool. Yeah, Maine would be wonderful right now.
Maine is beautiful this time of year. We've actually been twice this time of year, and it's a great time of year to visit there. Maybe next summer we'll head
thank you
east.
so much for that. Very kind. We love Maine. We love that Bar Harbor area, Acadia National Park. Got to have a blueberry ale. Rick and Amy asked if I castigated the driver that hit us. Well, I did not, but you know, I learned a lesson maybe about myself that I'm gonna relay this in the video we do about the accident. But your emotions kind of get stirred up, you know, in the wake of an automobile accident. Kristen, thank you so much. Kristen, she said, hope this helps towards the repair fund.
Oh,
Thank you. It's
Kristen.
very kind,
That's
Kristen.
so sweet.
Very sweet. But I didn't get into it with the other driver, but when you get rear-ended like that, you know, you're just like, you feel like you've been violated a bit. And I was not a happy camper at that moment, but you know, you just gotta stay cool. I did stay cool.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody's
we
asking,
were not towing our camper.
Yeah, we weren't towing the camper,
happened.
thankfully.
We were just in the truck. So.
I mean, if we'd been towing the camper, he probably would have totaled our Airstream.
Yeah,
like if he had run into the back of our Airstream.
So, thank goodness, that's not the case.
Let's see.
Somebody says, sorry.
Somebody says Nashville's a fun town.
Yeah, we love Nashville.
And the Smoky Mountains in the fall
Smokies are
beautiful.
fun. We went there last November.
Somebody asked how hot it is here. It's not so much the heat, it's the humidity.
The humidity. If you can't see, my hair is growing as we stand outside. Like, it's getting bigger and bigger. So we'll go in a minute. But, yeah. And I'm just going to say this real quick because I feel like it's super noticeable. I have a little bit of a lisp right now because I'm wearing Invisalign clear braces now. I just got them about 2 weeks ago. And so I'm trying to get used to filming in them without it affecting my speech. So I have a little bit of a lisp with them, so bear with me the next few videos as I adjust to them. And anyhow, I was just going to tell you guys about that so you would wonder why I'm sounding a little funny right now.
The truth is she's been drinking. You know, she sometimes starts early in the day and her speech just gets off. She slurs her words. Somebody asked how long we'd be visiting with Vinny. We don't know, is my honest answer.
Yeah.
Several days, and
Scott Chapin, thank you so much for the tip. We appreciate that.
Appreciate it, Scott. But we will stay with Vinny for several days, and we will definitely rope Vinny into doing a tech session.
Yeah, so we'll probably host a live event that's a tech session. So get ready with your questions because Vinny knows a lot of the answers. So
yeah, Vinny is like a walking encyclopedia when it comes.
Off-road girl, thank you so
hey,
much
off-road
for the
girl
tip.
says take care of yourselves. Thank you so much, much appreciated. But Vinny is a walking encyclopedia of Airstream knowledge and travel trailer knowledge. But you know, he really specifically Airstream. But we'll have a live chat with Vinny and we'll ask him tons of questions. And I mean, it's a great opportunity to hear it straight from a true expert.
Somebody asked if we're going to pass through Las Cruces, New Mexico. Probably not this trip because in the summer we usually try to head north as soon as possible to get to cooler weather. So usually if we're going west in the wintertime, we'll go through Las Cruces, but probably not this go around. But it's a nice place.
Yeah, we like Las Cruces. We've been through there several times.
Yeah.
We stopped in the Walmart parking lot there.
Yeah. I believe it had Wi-Fi,
yeah,
if I am not mistaken.
You can pick up a Wi-Fi signal there.
Somebody says, how long have we been traveling as Loloho? We've been doing this since we got married in 2007.
Yeah,
so,
hence the name Long Honeymoon.
11 years. We do it every summer, sometimes in the winter. So we're usually on the road anywhere from 2 to 5 months out of the year. So,
but we go, I mean, sometimes we're gone 5 months straight, you know, like, I mean, we went to Alaska, that was like 5 months straight, but
really just depends on the year and the itinerary that we're setting as to where we go and how long we're out.
So this year we will be doing like California, we're thinking Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and Utah. We're going to be visiting with good friends in Utah, and you know, maybe if we're lucky we'll be able to hit Utah in October, you know, when the temperatures cool a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody asked if we had insurance on our Airstream. We do. I mean, we have some insurance. You know, travel trailer insurance and usually is not terribly expensive because when you think about it, travel trailers sit still most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a typical vehicle that's on the road like every day.
I do think it's different insuring it if you are living in it full time.
Yeah.
The insurance is very different for that. So you just need to talk to your agent. Let's see.
Somebody said where in California we'll be staying. Well, we'll definitely be
We'll be
staying
at
at
Vinny's.
Vinny's, and
Yeah.
we might, hit some other places while we're there.
Ooh,
Hey,
sorry.
Christy.
I didn't mean
She's
to.
drunk. I told you.
No, it's our gimbal. It's not wanting to cooperate.
Well, that means we need to go over.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a seat or side.
You see what I was saying, guys? Technical difficulties. Yeah, maybe we should go inside because we're kind of dripping wet. So let's step into our Airstream. Somebody says perfect time to be in Utah. Yeah, I believe it's still pretty warm there right now. And all right, stepping in. Man, this is like going into a meat locker after being outside. And I mean that as a high compliment. Now if I can only... Cats are a little... Wow. Feels so much better in here. But now I need to take a shower.
Here.
Can you see this? Hey Keith. I feel like a surgeon. Scalpel.
Thank you, Keith.
Somebody says hi from Sydney, Australia. Somebody just bought a flying cloud. Congratulations. Hope you love it.
Oh, Dottie.
Dottie.
Turleski. Thank you
says
so
hi,
much
guys.
for the tip. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Dottie.
that.
So, hope you guys can hear us okay. Somebody asked, was Long Long Honeymoon inspired by Long Long Trailer? Yeah, kind of so. It kind of was. I mean, we took our Airstream on our literal honeymoon, and so that was sort of the basis of Long Long Honeymoon. And back in the day, I was learning how to make films and just started uploading videos to YouTube just for personal enjoyment and just teaching myself how to do video, and just never stopped doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
baby girl. It's probably
She's
good for
hiding
baby girl to
out.
be inside too.
Yeah, she gets too hot out there. She's wanting to burrow back down in her little bag here, so.
Somebody, what's a good place to visit in September from Kansas City?
I think Colorado's a great place.
If you
to
can make
go.
it to Colorado.
If you can make it to Colorado, there's a lot of great things to see in Rocky Mountain National Park. And that's really not too far of a drive, I don't think. Somebody asked how old baby girl is. Baby girl, we think, is 8 years old. She's sort of a rescue, so we aren't 100% sure, but that's sort of the guess. So
I'm gonna reposition this. So it
Yeah.
looks like I'm a giant and Christy is not. Yeah, we love Colorado. If you can make Colorado, there's a lot to see and do there.
yeah, we are going to go through Utah.
We love Utah also. Like southern Utah is incredible. But the issue there really is the heat. I mean, I read recently somebody died a couple of weeks ago from heat exhaustion in, I believe it was in Arches National Park. And that really happens every year. But this time of year it's pretty hot. So if you do go this time of year, you need to stay well hydrated. Just be prepared for it. Somebody asked about any news on the tumor. Well, I'm going to have an MRI scan in late September, I think.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I will know whether it's like growing or shrinking or whatever. But judging from how I feel, everything's hunky-dory right now. I feel better than I've felt in a very long time. So thank you, all of you, for your concern and your prayers and everything.
Somebody asked when we're going back to Grayton Beach. We were just there in May, so it'll probably be a little while before we go back. Maybe in the winter. It's a place to visit in the off season, I think.
Yeah, we love that area, and we're talking about scenic Florida Highway 30A. You guys might be familiar with 30A.com. You've seen the 30A stickers, but it's just a wonderful area. If you've never been to Florida or you've never been to the Gulf Coast, that's a wonderful place to go.
Yeah. Somebody was asking how far we go in a day driving wise. We try not to drive more than 5 hours in a day if we can help it. Just because we feel like towing a trailer is more involved than driving a car, and you're just more prone to make mistakes the more tired you are. So we try to stay under that 5-hour mark.
We may break that rule this week because we've got to get to Northern California in about a week. So
we'll be doing a little more driving than that, but usually that's about as far as we go in a day.
Somebody says the air conditioner's blowing on the mic. All right, thank you, Brian. I'll see if I can adjust it.
All right, we're gonna suffer for you. We're gonna
I'll turn it off for a minute.
Conditioning. We might have to turn it back on in a little while, but all right.
If I start sweating, AC is coming back on.
Yeah.
But I can probably adjust the angle of airflow.
Somebody says, how about Utah in late August? It's still going to be really hot in late August because we have been to Moab and done Arches and Canyonlands and also Zion and that whole area in October.
See, Michael says it's 100+ degrees in Moab right now.
It was still hot in October. I mean, you know, where it was in the high 80s in October. So if it was me, I would avoid that area right now just because it's so hot. There's no shade when you're out on these hiking trails. You're getting the heat from above and below because the rocks absorb the heat and sort of reflect it back to you. So you're getting it from above and below. So I would skip it if I could.
Eric said it's a chilly 111 degrees in Arizona and Phoenix, I guess, right now. Yeah, that's just the way it is. I mean, I read that in Portugal, right now in Lisbon, Portugal, it's like 115, 120 degrees. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe, you know, thing is we've got the humidity down in the south. The humidity will kill you. Yeah. Now, Skip says a new Yellowstone video would be awesome. That's absolutely in the plans. Because the thing about Yellowstone that I love so much, been going there for the last 30 years, I always find something new to explore. Yeah. Like there's literally, there's so many different hiking trails. There's so many different just parts of that park. There's such a diversity of terrain that we're going to pick some areas that we haven't explored quite as much previously, and we're going to get in there and dig deep. So I'm really excited about that.
Shannon Ward says she's planning a Montana trip and wants to know if we've been to Kalispell or Whitefish area. We have. Yeah. It's really not that far from Glacier National Park. If you're going to Whitefish, I highly recommend eating at Ciao Mambo. It's an excellent Italian restaurant.
Good memory.
Yeah, great place. There's also one in Missoula, Montana.
Ciao Mambo.
Yeah.
Ed says more drone video in the future. Yep, I'm toting 2 drones these days.
Somebody's correcting us for the way we say Zion.
Yeah.
We're supposed to say
it's
it like
been brought
lion.
to my attention that the entire state of Utah is mispronouncing the word Zion. So they want me to educate Utah on how to properly pronounce Zion. Z-I-O-N.
I'm sure it's supposed to be Zion like a lion. Yes. But I've been saying it Zion my entire life as a Southerner, and it's hard to break the habit.
It's spelled Zion.
Please forgive me.
It's pronounced throat warbler mangrove. That's an old Monty Python joke that no one is going to get, but...
let's see. Somebody says it's only 63 in Seward, Alaska right now. That's actually pretty good. We were in Alaska in the month of August, and it was great. And all the way up until September. So I think this is actually a great time of year to be. Yeah,
in Alaska. Wonderful time to be in Alaska and Yukon. Hudsel says he got the Monty Python joke. That's a very obscure reference, so I am impressed. Let's see.
Nathan is saying that his old hometown of Redding, California is burned really bad. His dad says the smoke is very thick like a fog. Yeah, we've heard that. We aren't going to Redding. We're going to be... in the sort of south of Sacramento area, so I don't think we'll really have too much of an issue. And we're driving over through like the Reno area, Reno, Nevada. So I think we'll be okay. But let's see.
Debbie said, so planning on retiring, what should be their first long trip? You know, I mean, we've kind of covered some of our favorite places. Of course, we love Montana and Wyoming. I don't know where you're based, though. I mean, if you're based in a different part of the country, then, and it depends on what time of year, too. Yeah. Like if it's wintertime, maybe you want to go down to Key West. You know, go down to southern Florida.
Terry mentioned that they were in Rocky Mountain National Park last week, and the weather was amazing. You need sweatshirts at night. That's exactly why we are heading west.
That's what I want.
We hit the road, because we want some cool weather. We've been sweating it out in the summer. Heat and humidity. It is super thick here in Alabama right now, so We are looking forward to being chilly. Remind me of that in January when I'm ready for warmth and sunshine, though. So.
Carol says it's very smoky in Southern California everywhere. Yeah, we've heard those fires are just really terrible. So.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll encounter some of that, but we're going to power through so we can get to Vinny and Cindy.
That's right.
And Lacey. Let's see.
When you
Somebody wants to know, when you mooch camp, do you drain tanks? What are your experiences and thoughts? Well, are you talking about boondocking like out in, the Bureau of Land Management land?
On the mooch camp, we're gonna have to like
Not really sure.
brush up on some of our vocabulary. I think maybe mooch camp means driveway camping. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like we've never emptied our tanks when.
We've never emptied our tanks anywhere except for into a dump station. So,
Yeah.
Or a tote, like a tote that you can pull to a dump station. So that will answer your question there.
We don't usually carry a tote, but if you're doing really a lot of boondocking, it's a good thing to have. Yeah. It's basically a huge plastic container tank with wheels on it and a handle, and you literally can empty your gray tank into it. Of course, you typically can't empty 50 gallons of gray water because that would weigh so much, but you can empty, 15 or 20 gallons, and it sort of buys you a lot of space in your tank.
My Mini Life. Somebody said My Mini Life said they're bummed that they canceled the Louisville RVIA. Yeah. We are too, because that was a pretty convenient trip for us to come up from Birmingham in November. So then moving it to March is a little trickier for us because, we aren't typically out west that early. And it's going to be in Utah. I don't know about being in Salt Lake City in early March with snow still being an issue. I'm not sure. I don't live in that area. So I don't know if we'll make it or not this year.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that one out, to be honest. I mean, I think it'll be a great event there in Utah. Mm-hmm. It's just, it might be difficult for us. Howie Roll says, would you ever consider a composting toilet? We've thought about it.
We've talked about it. Honestly, when we dry camp, it takes so long for us to fill up our black tank that I don't know if it would be worth the pain in the butt factor to put in a composting toilet, to be honest. I mean, we typically can go about 9 or 10 days dry camping when we're in national parks and that sort of thing with no hookups. And, even then our black tank isn't always full. So I don't know. It seems like it would be a lot of work. Now, if we were spending more time out boondocking, we might consider it, but I don't see us doing it.
Hi to Randy in Canada, by the way. Let's see. Somebody says the Oregon coast is wonderful. Yeah, we've been through the Oregon coast a couple of times, and we've always enjoyed visiting Oregon, really. We enjoy Portland, that area. We have some good friends there. We have family just north of there up in Tacoma, Washington area. And I'm not sure if we're going to make it that far northwest this time, but we might. Haven't ruled it out.
We never say never. Somebody says, I have a beautiful smile. Why the Invisalign? Well, I'm not doing it strictly to straighten my teeth. I do have crooked teeth on the bottom, but I'm doing it to correct my bite. I have problems with TMJ joint issues, and so I'm doing it to fix my bite. So
Ed asks, why don't we do more videos on solar? I'm definitely interested in doing that. I mean, that may be something that we look at, is getting some solar panels set up. We've done some on solar in a roundabout way. Like, we carry around a big lithium-ion battery. In fact, I have it right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This thing, it's by Swaoki.
Yeah.
And I actually really like this thing because it's a battery with outlets attached to it, but you can recharge this using solar means. And we've used this thing to start several cars. I've used it to power my laptop, and you can just use it for a variety of purposes. You could take it out by the picnic table if you want and use it to power, I don't know, a fan or some lights or what have you. I'm definitely into, maybe getting solar. Problem is, for us, we need air conditioning, and solar typically isn't up to the task. for air conditioning. Scott Snyder was asking about the wreck. Scott, we're going to be doing a more detailed video about the wreck. I mean, what happened in a nutshell, we got rear-ended by somebody, and they smashed right into our hitch. We were not towing at the time, but the hitch was destroyed basically, and so our rear bumper, the hitch, the trailer harness, the electronic wiring harness, all that stuff had to go. So for the past week and a half or two, we've been waiting on a body shop to get everything fixed. So, but we're still here. Seymour's still kicking, so it's all good.
Let's see. Terry says we bought the book recommended The Next Exit for our Alaska trip for dump sites. Thanks for the tip. You are welcome. Next Exit is a great book. I'm sorry. Next Exit, I'm confusing it with The Milepost.
Right.
For Alaska.
They're both great.
But Next Exit is a great book because if you're somewhere with no cell service, it's invaluable to have because you can find out where dump stations are. You can also find out where gas stations are that happen to have diesel, which we have referenced it for many times when we've been in remote areas with no cell service. So it is a great book.
Andre asked if we've been to the east side of Washington State. We have several times, and I agree with you. It is strikingly beautiful there. So we've been through there more than once, and we used to have family in Spokane area, and so we would go visit them when we're up in that sort of part of the country. And I remember the last time we came through Eastern Washington, I said to Christy, we need to come back here and dig deep because there's some really beautiful areas, kind of like Montana.
Jim Pratt asks, are you going to try for another Loloho rally sometime? Or I guess maybe he means a meetup.
Like a meetup.
We were trying to do a meetup in Orlando last spring, and it just didn't work out. We got hacked on Instagram, and that sort of took over, and then we ended up both getting sick. So I think we definitely will. I'm not really sure when we're going to do it. Maybe we'll try to do something when we're in Jackson, if there's anybody around the Jackson area, or maybe in Salt Lake, because those are two towns that I'm sure we'll be spending a little bit of extra time in. So we'll keep you posted. We'll try to give you at least a week's notice.
We'll probably do one in Jackson. I think that's a great idea. And maybe we'll do one in California too. We'll plan it out a little.
We'll try to plan it out better in advance. Enrique is asking, what is the best area to camp in Texas? We haven't done a ton of camping in Texas.
I'll tell you one area to check out. Well, Austin is a lot of fun.
Austin is a great town to check out because there's so much to do there and see. But also sort of that Texas Hill Country, a little bit.
The wine country.
Yeah, like Fredericksburg, Texas is a cool old town. And then really going over closer to Marfa, Texas. Marfa is a really funky little town. But there's a town just east of there. And gosh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's maybe a 15 or 20 minute drive east of Marfa. And it is a really cool little town. Is it Pine? No. Pinedale?
No. Pinecrest.
No, I don't think that's it. Anyhow.
Pine Sol.
But it's a great town, and that whole area.
Alpine.
Alpine, yes.
Thank you.
I was close.
Everybody else knows.
Yes.
There's this
so
place.
That's a really cool area as well. And
Marfa's pretty fun town.
So I think if you're
Marfa's
kind
just
of
kind
in
of
that,
quirky.
yeah, kind of in that southern section of Texas, it's really cool.
Eric asked about our favorite boondocking area in Arizona. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind to me is Quartzsite, just because Quartzsite is such a scene. There's so many RVers that migrate there in wintertime. So.
Yeah, we were there in January when the big RV convention hits. So, that's a cool time to be there. I don't know if I would go there any other time of year just because it's so remote. There's not really much to do there if you aren't an ATV person. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do if you have an ATV and you can go off-roading, but if you don't, you're sort of just hanging out in your camper. Somebody asked if we go to Oak Mountain State Park a lot. That's here in Birmingham, Alabama. We do go occasionally. We don't go a ton.
It's a great park,
but
though.
it's a great park. I mean, we do go kayak there sometimes and that sort of thing. But yeah, if you're looking for a cool place to stay near Birmingham, it's a great option.
Diana asked if we're coming to Quebec. I mean, probably not this trip, but we will return to Quebec because we had a blast.
Yeah, it's a
in Quebec.
beautiful province, I guess I should say. And then Quebec City is cool as well.
Yeah, if you guys have never been
Oh,
to
John
Quebec,
Marucci, thank you
John.
so much.
Super kind.
We appreciate the tip.
I know I owe you a reply on Patreon, John, by the way. But what you asked really blew me away, and I just didn't know how to reply. So if I feel like I have to do a lot of typing in a reply, I can't do it on my phone because I'm just, I guess I'm old dude. I have a hard time typing on the phone.
Somebody asked what it's like in the Gulf Coast of Alabama in the winter. It's nice, but it's not going to be hot. Like, you know, don't expect to come down and like lay out on the beach in your swimsuit because it's still cold on the Gulf Coast in the wintertime. Now, if you're somebody from like Buffalo, New York, it's probably not cold to you, but most other people are wearing coats and long pants. I mean, it does get below freezing occasionally there. It's probably not going to be below freezing when you're there, but expect it to be in like the, you know, mid 40s at night and then, you know, 60 during the day if you're lucky. But it can be in the 40s or 50s during the day. So,
yeah, I mean, you'll have some warm days if you go to the Gulf Coast in wintertime, but you're also going to have some very cold days. Be prepared for that. Let's see.
Oh, Jan, am I saying that right? I hope. So the next time we come to Quebec, let him know and we'll find you great spots. That sounds great.
Sounds great. Yeah, we would love to. If you guys have never been to Quebec, I mean, you know, I'm talking to you Americans out there who don't venture north of the border that often. I highly recommend it because it's a very interesting cultural experience. You know, like you go into this place and you hear French spoken pretty much everywhere. The street signage is in French. Menus in restaurants are in French. And they will have an English translation. But, you know, for me, it's a lot of fun. You know, really interesting experience to have in North America. So,
Somebody, Bubba Warbucks, that is a funny name. I love it. He says, have you done the Outer Banks of North Carolina? We have not, and we need to do that. We might venture there maybe in spring or fall. Sean's brother lives in North Carolina, so we'll try to go visit him and then swing out there and see it. I've heard it's really beautiful.
Scott said, we love your videos. Watch them all the time. Thank you very much, Scott. It gives me a lot of satisfaction when people are watching the videos kind of in our catalog or our library, because most of our videos, the idea is that they're sort of evergreen and you could watch them a year from now or
Enrique Morales.
Thank you, Enrique.
So much. We appreciate that.
Stay blessed and be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Enrique. You know, I feel like we don't say thank you enough to our audience. We love you guys, and we really appreciate you
guys watching.
Probably more than you know.
And participating and sending us questions and watching, and it makes it a lot more fun the more people we have joining in. Marcus Pennington, thank you so much for the tip. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Marcus. He's for helping repairing Seymour. He asked if we have another vehicle would get around him and not traveling. Well, we have about a 20-year-old sedan that's got a few issues, but it's still going strong. But that's our main.
Oh, Jan said, you pronounce it right. Most of us speak English, by the way. Yes, in Quebec.
Let's see. Nathan says, I'm a truck driver and have been to British Columbia and Alberta, and those are nice provinces. Yes. Yeah, British Columbia, the camping is just
and
fantastic.
Alberta, too. You want me to handle?
Yeah, I just think you're not getting to see enough all.
Michelle Staggers, thank you so much for the tip. We appreciate that.
Says, got home yesterday from Yellowstone, Mount Rushmore. 3-week trip. Had a great trip. Love watching you guys. Rubber roofs. Ours came apart during our trip. Which roofs are better?
I don't know for the person to answer that question because our Airstream doesn't have a rubber roof.
Yeah, I guess our roof is more fiberglass. You know, the old Airstreams were all aluminum all the way around.
So I don't know, maybe a fiberglass roof.
Mike Lee.
Thank you
Dude.
so much, Mike Lee.
Mike Lee.
You always floor us. Oh goodness.
Man, sometimes we're gonna make a trip just to see Mike Lee.
Mike Lee, where do you live? I want to know where you live because we need to swing by and like take you to dinner sometime. If we're within like
unbelievable,
a 300-mile radius, we're gonna make a trip to see you sometime.
I mean, that's sincere.
That's
I
crazy.
promise you,
I
we
mean,
will.
seriously, we really will. You tell us where you live.
Mike Lee.
Thank you so much.
You're amazing, dude.
Oh, Rodney, thank you so much.
You, Rod.
We appreciate your tip.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. I mean, you know.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We really enjoy, doing this channel, and it's a whole lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to interact with you guys. You know.
I'm scrolling back through to make
even
sure.
Even you trolls are mildly amusing.
Yeah. Don't encourage them. John Marucci says your ant and mice videos are the best ever. Well, thanks, I'm glad that our suffering was worth it. No, it was really funny to make both of those because when you're sort of in the midst of mice and
which
ants,
is a real problem. I mean, it's sort of like, I don't know. I think document it and yeah, people give me a hard time for not killing the mice, and I can understand that, but we were in Park at the time, and they're important for hawks and eagles.
I'm trying to make sure I haven't missed anybody that's left a tip because
somebody said your dog is so small.
Yeah, she's 3.5 pounds.
This is what they call a pocket wolf.
Her leg is caught here.
Oh, sweet baby. Go on, girl. I want to get her up. She's a pocket wolf. Vicious.
Sean Barber says, have you been to Sleeping Bear Dunes? We have been to Traverse City, Michigan, which is very close to Sleeping Bear Dunes. We were there. I guess maybe it was raining a lot when we were there, and we did not go out to the dunes. So I feel like an idiot, but we've been close. So
I want to get a shout out to Chad here because he says, you guys are the originals. Have been watching for many years since the videos were just a few minutes long until these live chats.
Yes, if you are old school, you know our videos used to be like 3 minutes long because that's what YouTube allowed. You know, in 2007 when we started posting these videos, they had a cap on how long your video could be, and it was 3 minutes. So you had to deliver a lot of info in those 3 minutes. So.
Yeah, people used to tell me, oh, I think once a video gets longer than 2 minutes, it's just way too long. People aren't going to watch a video longer than 2 minutes. So it's funny how things have changed since then. Yeah, there's Matt. Thanks for watching our blog.
That's right. I used to be an old sign off.
Yeah.
Let's see. JM says, Christy, I love the shorter hair. Thank you very much. It's much easier when you're boondocking. Love all your videos. When we need questions answered, we go to your channel. Oh, thanks so much. We appreciate that. We try to share everything that we deal with owning a camper and being on the road in hopes that it will help you, because a lot of times we're sharing with you what not to do because we've already made that mistake, and so we want to save you from making the same mistakes that we've made. So hopefully our mistakes have been helpful to you.
Sarah says she went to Traverse City this summer. Traverse City is really nice.
Yeah, Traverse City was, I think, a surprise to both of us because growing up in Alabama, we didn't really know much about that area of Michigan and what a destination it is for people vacationing kind of in the Midwest. And it's a really great town. We had a great time there.
She's snoring.
Baby girl's snoring a little bit over here. Forgive her. But we really enjoyed our trip to Traverse City and that whole, kind of northern edge of Michigan along the lakes there. It was really a surprise. It wasn't a place that I thought was going to be anything special, and it turned out to be really cool. So if you haven't been to Michigan, check it out. They've got a lot of cool things to do there.
Let's see. Neil says, Keep it up. You inspired us to purchase our first travel trailer. It's Neil in Washington. You got a lot of great places to camp in Washington.
Yeah, Washington. The Pacific Northwest has so many cool places to camp in, and we're glad that we've inspired you. You know, sometimes it's just that initial push that you need from somebody to encourage you to do this. It can be very intimidating if you've never done it before. I'd never done it before. You'd never done it before.
No.
And we just sort of jumped in with both feet and said, well, we'll learn as we go. And my parents had done it before I was born. And so they had some experience to share with us and help us a bit. But, you know, if you just jump in and do it, you'll figure it out. It'll be fun. So if you've been hesitating or holding back on getting a camper of some sort, I totally encourage you to do it. I really haven't ever met anybody that has regretted starting the RV lifestyle. You know, most people, once they do it, they get hooked. So.
Let's see. Somebody asked what speed we typically tow at. I mean, you know, it's interesting because it varies widely from state to state what speed you're allowed to tow at. You know, in California, for example, surprise, surprise, it is 55 miles per hour throughout the state. Then you go to like New Mexico and Utah, and people, I mean, you could do 80 miles an hour, which I don't advise that you do. So, you know, there's an old saying that the speed limit, like the technical speed limit in the law, is like to go a reasonable and prudent, safe speed. And so that's kind of what we do. There's not like one set speed, but I feel like we can tow at 65 to 70 miles an hour usually pretty safely, but depends on the environment too. You know, like there's a lot of crosswinds or anything like that. Don't ever push yourself to go too fast, because I think you have to accept you're towing a rig, and there's some dangers inherent in that.
Yeah.
So just take it easy on the speed.
Kelvin says, love your generator reviews. Which one do you like best?
Well, it's tough to beat. I mean,
it's like picking your favorite child, right?
I would say like the original Yamaha we got is a very well built generator that served us well for many years. However, the height doesn't work with our tonneau.
Yeah.
So Bob and Martha, thank you so much. I love your videos.
Thank you for the tip.
They inspired us to buy our first camper. Thank you, Bob and Martha.
Thanks, you guys. Enjoy your camper.
Yeah, enjoy. But as far as my favorite generator, you know, these days, I'm planning to bring out the Atima, believe it or not, because the Atima fits under our tonneau. It's quiet like a Yamaha because it has a Yamaha engine. It doesn't have some of the nice features of some of the other units, like the Champion and the Energizer have that remote electric start. So I do miss that. Like the Atima is the lawnmower recoil pull start, but it's pretty quiet, and I really admire that about it. The Champion, I would say, would be next in terms of it fits under our tonneau and it's pretty quiet, but not quite as quiet as the Atima. The Energizer has great features, but our unit was just a little louder than I'd hoped.
Wally Perez says, I've never noticed any type of accent. Where are you originally from? It's funny because we get that question a lot. And then we get questions from other people saying, oh, you have such a strong accent. I can tell that you're from the South.
I'm from Bangladesh, actually. I'm Bangladeshi. Sorry.
So we're both from Alabama.
With regard to my accent, no, I certainly do think I have a Southern accent of some sort, but I've taught English overseas before. Like in the early 90s, I taught English in Czechoslovakia, and my students were speaking kind of like British English, the Queen's English.
The Queen's English.
And that's what they were accustomed to hearing. They were accustomed to hearing English spoken with like an English accent. So I had to, at the very least, drop some of my Southern accent so that my students could understand what the heck I was saying. Let's see. David asks a great question. Did you figure out your bike rack issues? Because we're trying to figure out how to get a bike rack for our rig that doesn't like fundamentally change something about our rig. And I think the short answer to your question is no.
We haven't figured it out yet. We have something in mind. We aren't 100% sure if it's going to work. So stay tuned, because once we choose something, we'll share it with you guys and show you what we ended up with.
Yeah, because we're getting
So,
2 e-bikes, and I'll give a
Yeah.
shout out to the company. It's called their Aerial Rider is the brand of the bike.
we
And
haven't gotten them yet.
We're getting
I
them.
think
We haven't
they're
gotten
coming
them.
tomorrow.
We'll be doing, a couple of videos probably about these bikes. But we're trying to figure out storage, and like with an Airstream, it's a little tricky. Like, you don't want to drill into the aluminum if you can help it, and these bikes weigh about 50 pounds a piece.
So that sort
weight
of
is a
changes the game for
consideration.
us as well. Yeah.
So
if you're one of those people in a Class A or a fifth wheel that has tons of storage, be glad, because you can just shove a bike under there and not have to worry about this.
Yeah, it's like every time I think about a place to put the bikes, there's always some major downside that goes along with it. Our probable solution will be somewhere above the tonneau cover, but that will entail getting a different tonneau cover, hard tonneau cover, instead of the soft cover that we have now. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know what we figure out.
Hi, Steve Garcia. I'm glad that you guys got your camper. I hope you enjoy it very much. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Somebody said quiet is really important for generators. Yes, I completely agree. I think that honestly is probably the number one consideration that we think about with whether or not we're pleased with,
Yeah, if I
generator,
was a generator company, if I made generators and I was targeting Honda and or Yamaha, quiet would be my top concern. I don't care really about all the other doodads and features if the thing is quiet.
Yeah.
Reasonably quiet. And
Steve said he also bulletproofed his truck at Bulletproof Diesel.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love those guys at Bulletproof Diesel. They're a great company, great people. Our truck is still running like a top.
Somebody says, turn on the AC, you're hot.
Is it that noticeable? We haven't fully broken out in the sweat yet.
Yeah. We might turn it on for just a minute. Somebody was asking us to recap about our accident. We basically were rear-ended. We were in a construction zone on the interstate, and I guess the person behind us wasn't paying attention, and they just rammed right into us. So
we were not towing at the time.
We weren't towing. We were just in our truck, thank goodness, and we had our hitch on, so that took the brunt of the damage. So basically, they ordered us a new bumper and a new hitch assembly and wiring harness, all that. And so we just got Seymour back on Friday, so we hope to be on the road Tuesday, heading west to California. So
Barb says, love the GPS you recommended, Sean. Helps us a lot. Thank you very much, Barb. Yeah, if you're looking for an RV GPS, we have the Garmin. I think it's the 760, 770, something like that. I get confused with these numbers, but you can watch the review that we've done on our YouTube channel.
I'm laughing at this comment. I love
that.
It. Melissa Alley says, we just got back from Yellowstone in South Dakota. We spent 2 different nights at Walmart, and it was my son's favorite part of the vacation.
That's hilarious. I can imagine kids getting a real thrill out of that. Like,
I think that's
I can't believe we're staying at Walmart.
I love it.
That is
It
hilarious.
really is an adventure, you're in a different town. Every Walmart's a little different, that's really funny. I love it.
Scenic Walmarts of North America.
I'm glad you guys stopped at a Walmart.
Somebody
Why are we not sponsored by Walmart? We talk about camping at Walmart all the time.
That's a good point. Somebody asked about putting a bike rack. Well, I'll tell you, I'll run down the problems quickly. In the front of Seymour, if we put a bike rack up there, it constricts airflow to our radiator, and we have that Bulletproof Diesel air to liquid oil cooler, and I think it's just going to need all the airflow it can get to work properly, so we really don't want to constrict that. Put them on the roof of the truck. That's super tall to be dealing with 50-pound bikes.
And these are heavy bikes to be putting up and down off of a roof.
So if we put it on the back of the Airstream, they're too heavy for the Airstream
bike rack
that
Airstream sells.
If we try and rig up something, I thought about trying to rig up one of those rear hitch things.
Yeah, and that's still too heavy.
Again, we run into weight issues.
And then also the bike racks that go above the what's it called? Sorry, my brain decided. The propane tanks. Our bikes are too heavy for that as well, because these bikes are 47 pounds a piece, and most of these racks sort of top out at like 90 pounds. And so we're sort of just pushing the max on that.
So Dave was asking about an over the bed rack, and that is what we're leaning towards now.
Oh, that's
Unfortunately,
interesting.
they're not cheap. But
Defense as a bike rack on the front of your truck kills your miles per gallon.
yeah,
That's really interesting. I can see where that would be the case.
Yeah, and see, we really rely on that airflow to cool our oil now because we don't have a liquid oil cooler. It's air to liquid. So
Karen C asked, how long have you been on the road now? Well, if you are new to our channel, you won't know this, but we are what we call part-time full-timers. We go out for part of the year on a full-time basis, and then we come back to a home base. So we were out for the month of March and April. And I'm sorry, April and May. We were out for April and May this year. We went all the way down to Key West, Florida, and back to Birmingham, Alabama, which is our home base. And we've been here since the end of May. And we're hitting the road tomorrow, heading to California. And we'll probably be on the road this trip for about 2 months, maybe longer. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, one of the issues we're running into now with my health conditions, I have to circle back and visit my doctor every once in a while to check in and have some tests done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I do have to be here. Somebody said get a truck topper. We haven't ruled that out either, but you have to order those things, and it takes a couple months.
It takes a long time for them to come in, so we didn't really have enough notice to go that route.
So I asked if we stayed overnight at Costco or McDonald's. McDonald's, no. Costco, no.
I don't think Costco would let you in. I'm sure
do.
McDonald's wouldn't let you because our rig is too big to fit in most of their parking lots. So.
Some people occasionally might stay at a Home Depot or a Lowe's or something like that, but I think that's a little bit unusual.
Somebody's asking, are we in an RV right now? We are. We're in our Airstream right now. We're in the process of packing it because we are hoping to hit the road on Tuesday. So hopefully we'll be posting more photos on our Instagram account because once we're out on the road, we tend to update that more frequently. So be sure to check Instagram starting maybe Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, and we'll be uploading more frequently there.
Kate said they just started traveling full time. What's our best advice for newbies? You know, we've got what would you call it? A category,
a
playlist for like all sorts of beginner advice. And we did one recently about how to make your first trip a success. If you're full time traveling, best advice, I would say, we always say, pack a sense of humor.
Yes, pack a sense of humor and don't get in a hurry, because we always find that when we get in a hurry, that's when we make mistakes and bad things happen. So if you can just take your time and pack your sense of humor, I think most everything will fall into place fairly easily, you know.
Yeah, because there are going to be some bumps in the road. We try and cover those on our channel. Like whenever something goes wrong, I try and start the video camera just to share it with you guys, because it might help you deal with it if you encounter those issues at some point. Somebody said, I'm just curious about this. You took a vote about changing your channel name, but it's still the same. Did you decide to keep the Loho name after all? That's something that's an ongoing debate, kind of like in what I think about a lot of times, because I mean, you know, do you change the channel name? Do you make it Long Long Honeymoon, Loho, or just make it Sean Christie or whatever? So right now we're the same.
I think we were mainly asking not necessarily to change our channel name, but what people wanted on stickers, because we were talking about doing stickers. So we wanted to know if people wanted Long Long Honeymoon on the sticker or if they wanted Loho on the sticker. What would you be more likely to put on your RV? So chime in and let us know, because we're still debating it.
Yeah, I love hearing from you guys on that, you know, because we'd like to have a good sticker that we can give to everybody. And we're in the process of developing one, but I've been saying that for a long time. So
yeah,
I really want to pick something cool.
Just to address this briefly, I know there are some trolls on here, so if you guys will just ignore them, they'll go away. We do, and just don't let them ruffle your feathers. It's not worth it. So, so this is funny. A lot of people are chiming in and saying Loho. So you want Loho on a sticker? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then somebody says Long Long Honeymoon. So should we have Loho and Long Long Honeymoon stickers so that you can choose what you want? But a lot of people are saying Loho. Maybe with the little, you know, hang loose sign.
Somebody says, let's see, what what's our Airstream? It's an Airstream. It's a 25-foot 2003 Classic. So that's the age and model and so forth. And
Loloho, everybody's like totally chiming in for that. So
yeah, that's interesting to know. I mean, maybe
good
actually,
to know.
I wish I had the sticker mock-ups because we had some stickers, just like some samples drawn up.
Oh, look at
Maybe
there!
I'll
You
show
got
you.
a
Roll
fellow
Tide to James.
War Eagle, James.
We're excited about college football about to begin.
Oh, Fraser Tones. Sorry that you had a wreck last Thursday. It stinks. Um,
Let's
see. What places do you recommend to boondock overnight? Just for overnight parking when you're passing through a town, Walmart is usually a good bet. Of course, call and ask to make sure that that location is cool with that. Cracker Barrel is usually pretty welcoming of RVers if you can find one of those. Cabela's tends to welcome RVers, and in fact, some of them even have dump stations and freshwater at no charge, which is pretty cool. And then, as an absolute last resort, we will stay at like a rest stop if we have to. Sometimes a truck stop, just depending. We try not to. And then sometimes casinos. If you're anywhere near a casino, a lot of them allow overnight parking for free. And you can go in and get a good meal for cheap usually. So check out the casinos. Yeah, Flying J. We've stayed at Flying J and truck stops, that sort of thing. But again, we try not to if we can avoid it. Just because they're loud and truck drivers don't like you staying there, which I totally understand because they don't have anywhere else to stay. But a lot of them will have a certain area for RVs, so we head that way.
Darby asks, how do you keep motivated to keep doing the channel? I still really enjoy the creative process of doing the channel. I enjoy interacting with you guys. I'm kind of an introvert, and I appreciate having this kind of communication with people. I enjoy it very much. It means a lot to me. And I don't think we've really scratched the surface on what can be done. This is the thing. I like to look at what we've built so far as Long Long Honeymoon version 1.0. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting ready to roll out 2.0. And we're going to see, make some significant changes in the future. Mm-hmm. Lots of cool stuff. Okay. So, stick with us. We've had this kind of period when, I was having those issues last year that kind of sidelined us, but we've got some cool things in the pipeline that are going to be a lot of fun. So stick with our channel. And I really want to start cranking out more and better content soon.
Aaron C. says, have you ever rented an RV outside of the country? We have. We went to Argentina in 2009 and we rented a Class B here, basically a camper van. And we went for like a long weekend trip and it was a lot of fun. It was cool to experience camping in a different culture where they don't really have campgrounds. You just sort of park wherever, like on the side of the road or in a park or at a train station, which we did. So it was definitely an adventure. I think it would be fun to do it again. And we've also camped in Germany. Our friend Armin, if he's watching, hi Armin. He is the president of Airstream Europe, and we went and camped with him in Germany on was it the Lahn River?
I think so.
And it was a beautiful setting. It was really cool because we were in a European Airstream. And we really want to go back and do that again and take it out on the road. So maybe we'll make that happen soon.
Yeah, you might see us back overseas next year.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk to Armin and see if we can get back and do some camping over there because we had a great time.
It was a lot of fun, and it was just cool to sort of compare and contrast the RV life here versus Europe.
So somebody asked about hobo pockets. If you haven't seen that video, we've got a great video on the good old YouTubes about making what are called hobo pockets, which are sort of like aluminum foil wrapped dinners that you throw in the campfire. And they're a lot of fun to make, and they're delicious too. So, we look forward. We'll be doing that, I'm sure. in the next month or so. Maybe we'll have to film another video. Maybe we'll try a different recipe next time.
Deepin says we should do a Gulf Coast meetup. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll have to try to make that happen.
Do it on Highway 30A.
Somebody says a Birmingham meetup. We really should do that because, you know, it'd obviously be easy for us. And if there's anybody nearby around here, you could meet up with us too. Birmingham's actually a great city if you've never been to Birmingham. I know it doesn't get a lot of press, but recently it has gotten a lot of press because there's a restaurant here in downtown Birmingham called Highlands Bar and Grill, and it was recently awarded the James Baird Award for the best restaurant in America. And the chef is Frank Stitt, and he is from Sean's hometown of Coleman, Alabama.
Karen C says, thank you for your videos. We really appreciate it. We're in the planning stage and have so many questions. So we go to your channel and usually find the answer.
Thank you
Karen.
so much, Karen.
Thanks so much for the tip. Much appreciated.
Yes.
If you ever have any specific questions, you know, post a comment, ask a question, because we're always scanning your comments, and that's where we get ideas for future videos. So thank you once again. Very much appreciated.
Milo says, my fear is getting sick while traveling. Do you research medical clinics where you're going? I usually don't until I get sick, and Yelp is a great place to read reviews on local medical clinics, or ask your campground that you're staying at, especially the people that work there full time, because they usually are from the area and they can kind of direct you to the closest, you know, walk-in clinic that you could go to easily. So
somebody says you need a moderator. We will get a moderator. I agree with you. There's some young teenage boys who are having a good old time tonight.
Yes.
Let's see. We're probably going to wrap up in just a minute because we've been going for
about 70
minutes.
Been going for over an hour. Sorry guys, we didn't realize that. Oh, Bear Russell, Athens, Alabama loves you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bear.
We love Athens, home of the Alabama Shakes, right?
That's right.
Great band.
It's pretty close to my old hometown.
Yeah, Sean's from Coleman, so. Somebody says, FYI, our Patreon link is not working.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that.
I think it's missing Moon on the end. So if you take the URL that's there and add Moon to Long Honeymoon.
The problem is the YouTube, it cuts it off for some reason.
Yeah, YouTube cuts it off because I guess it's too long. So
somebody says the can opener Airstream rally in January. That is true.
Yeah, that would be fun. And Topsail is
that.
such a nice park.
Yeah, we absolutely may do that.
Yeah, we need to do that.
So we're probably gonna wrap it up because we've been going for 70 minutes now.
Well, it'll be 76. So they appreciate our Yellowstone video and they vote for Loloho stickers.
All right, so maybe that's what we'll go with.
Maybe Loloho is what we go with because a lot of you guys are saying that's what you want.
Now, what about Get Hitched? Do you like that as a slogan?
Would you rather have the old school Get Hitched long honeymoon sticker?
Because we've had stickers before that say Get Hitched.
Yeah, with just a little long honeymoon logo underneath. So.
And it's like you could put it down there next to the hitch. I don't know. It's kind of fun. Yeah. Somebody says both. I know.
Somebody says yes, like Get Hitched.
Yep.
Get Hitched.
A lot of people like Get Hitched. Maybe Get Hitched.
Get Hitched is fun too. We have it on a shirt, so you know, the shirt is available for purchase in our store. And actually, you can now buy T-shirts directly through our YouTube. If you look at YouTube underneath, there's like a little bar that has some pictures of shirts, and it's through a company called Teespring, and those are actually our shirts as well. So we do get the funds from that. So if you buy a shirt that way, we get the money, or if you buy through our Amazon store, we get the money. So either way.
Somebody said Get Hitched rules out the Class A people, unless you're hitching a toad.
Yeah.
Right? A tow mod car. I know it's not quite the same, but yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah. Well, then you can have a Loloho sticker.
Yeah. So maybe we need to do both.
So we could do both.
Let's see. There was another good question in there. Let's see. Sorry, guys.
We're sort of scrolling through comments here.
Yeah, with regard to those T-shirts, there's a new thing. There's a lot of new stuff that YouTube has launched, which I really like. There's merch set up where you know
Mhm.
you'll see those our shirts on Teespring, and that's official, that's legit.
Yeah.
So we have them on both Amazon and Teespring now. And thank you
Mhm.
to all you guys who shop in our Amazon store. That's a huge boost to us and to our channel. And
Mhm.
we're on Amazon's radar screen now because of you guys. Because you
Mhm.
guys go to amazon.com/shop/long honeymoon to
Yes.
do your shopping. Because Amazon has come to us and said, guys, you're really
Yeah, our
attracting a lot of
store's doing
traffic. Your
well,
store's doing
so
great. So that's kind of a big deal that we're on Amazon's radar screen, and it's all
yeah.
because of you guys, and we really appreciate that because it doesn't cost you an extra dime or anything, but it really helps boost our channel, helps us. So,
All
all right,
right.
we're gonna be getting some moderators, I promise, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, we've
Sorry.
never really had this many trolls on a live event before, so
Yeah.
I don't know what's up tonight, but sorry about that. We're just so used to ignoring them that we just don't even think about it, you know. It's just some loser in their mom's basement, you know.
It's probably a 13-year-old. Let's be honest.
This is probably true. This is probably
I was 13
true.
once. I remember. All right, guys. I think we'll probably wrap it up because we've been going
Yeah.
for 75 minutes. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in, you guys. We really appreciate it. And stay tuned this week. Like we said, we're going to get on the road, hopefully Tuesday, fingers crossed. So be checking our Instagram account because, you know, we'll be posting more content on Instagram while we're on the road. That's an easy place for us to post. And we'll be checking in on Facebook and here. So, you know,
yeah,
come take a look. Come follow the journey with us, you know. And we're going to do a live event from Vinny's probably the end of next week. So stay tuned for that. We will certainly let you know details when we nail down the day and the time.
We're probably doing a live chat with Mike Lee as soon as we can find
Yeah,
out where he
as
lives.
soon as we can find out where Mike Lee lives, we're gonna swing by. Take
Shout
him
out
to dinner.
Mike Lee.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, you're the reason we do the channel, and we're happy that we're able to do something that's of value to you guys.
Baby girl says hello.
Baby girl wanted to say goodbye as well. She was like, I want to go back to sleep. She was sleeping
so well.
I was like, I want to go
and
back to sleep.
And then we had to rudely awaken her. I'm sorry, baby girl.
Oh, bless you. Bless that little baby. I think somebody needs a chicken dinner.
I think it's time for chicken dinner, too.
It's time for chicken dinner.
All right. Hi to Rick in Tuscumbia.
Hey, Rick.
Sean's parents are in Florence.
That's right.
We're in your neck of the woods a lot.
This is baby girl.
All right. I know. Baby girl sneezes are the cutest, aren't they?
They are.
Oh, bless you, baby girl. Everybody loves to hear it.
I'm going to get a video of a baby girl sneeze because they come and go so quickly. Oh, baby girl. Baby girl got her teeth cleaned recently.
Yeah, she got 9 teeth pulled.
Yeah.
So she had a rough couple of days, but she's feeling so much better. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in, you guys. We appreciate it so much. We love getting to interact with y'all and chat and answer as many questions as we can in sort of a short amount of time. But yeah, so stay tuned. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet, please do so. It means the world to us, makes a huge difference. If you haven't clicked the bell icon next to the subscribe button, please do that, because that way you will get a notification every time a new video goes live. And so you'll never miss a new episode of Long Long Honeymoon.
I wanted to say, a lot of people were like, wow, she had 9 teeth pulled. The vet said that's totally normal.
For small dogs.
For small dogs. And she had some teeth that were just going bad because she's not really good about brushing and flossing. So like, she had some issues.
She also won't chew anything crunchy or hard that would normally clean your dog's teeth, like chewing on a bone or that sort of thing. She totally will not do it. So it's sort of her own doing, but she's so darn cute.
Yeah, and she's feeling better. She's still got plenty of teeth to chew her food, so she's all good.
She's fine.
Yeah, so I think she probably feels better because she got those bad teeth out of her.
Yeah, for sure.
Out of her head. So, all right, guys. Thanks a
Good
lot.
Night.
Lo ho.
Have a wonderful week.
Sayonara.
We love you guys.
Bye, Kelvin in Canada.
Bye.
Take care. Now, this is the part where I fumble around with my phone and try and figure out how to turn it off. Bye.